Hi, everyone, and welcome to Leaf France. Day one of free agency is seemingly over for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know it's not over, but it seems like they're not going to make too many more signings today. Tomorrow, probably. Remember, last year, Brad Treliving came in, day one, didn't do a whole lot. He was cooking today. But day two, he got Max Domi and Tyler Bertuzzi. Max Domi was extended. Timothy Liljegren was extended with a bit of an overpay. Max Domi, I called his contract. Joseph Woll, I called his contract. I'm just thinking of everyone that was signed and extended. Matt Murray comes back on an entry-level contract. I don't know if it's two-way or not. So hopefully there's something there that would cause people not to claim him off of waivers if he takes that. I imagine he'll be assigned to the Marlies because the Leafs went out today and they signed 4 players, 3 defensemen, and 1 goaltender. So let's start off with who they got. The Leafs finally have a D partner for Morgan Rielly and the best defenseman, or the best right-handed defenseman in the Matthews era. Chris Tanev is a Leaf. He signed $4.5 million for 6 years. Yep, you heard that right. 6 years. Term doesn't really matter. It does, but I see him having to require LTIR plus, cheating, I guess. But even if he doesn't, you have 4 more years of this whole Matthews thing of winning a cup. That's your window, 4 years. So, you better do something. So, whatever. I'm completely fine with the Leafs signing Tanev. And you want to know why? Or to a 6-year deal. And you want to know why? Obviously, it's risky. The short term isn't too much. It's a lot of money, but Tanev's worth it. But the reality is, to be a contender, you have to take risks. Tanev's a good defenseman that will elevate this team. He will. If you just look at his J Fresh card, that's what I have right here. His EV offense, 69%. His EV defense, 100%. His defense is... He's the best defensive defenseman on the Leafs. TJ Brodie, when he first came to the Leafs, was amazing and deserved every little bit of that $5 million contract. Tanev's an upgrade from Brodie, and it seems like Brad Treliving has no problem upgrading TJ Brodie with Chris Tanev. Tanev has been really good. And I thought the Leafs were going to get him last year, but Calgary wouldn't trade with Toronto. So they couldn't. And I think that's the only reason that they didn't end up him, because he's an amazing defensive player. And I think can really elevate Morgan Rielly, because do you remember how good Morgan Rielly was when he was playing beside Luke Schenn? Do you remember that? How god tier that defensive pairing really was? Now imagine him beside Chris Tanev, when he can just be himself and shoot and not have to worry as much about playing defense. That's the way he was with Brodie when Brodie first came here, and Brodie was everything you could have wanted. But that's that. It would be an amazing signing. Yeah, so let's move on from that. Oliver Ekman-Larsson it was also signed. 3 years, $3.5 million. He's 30 years old right now. He turns 33 in 16 days, so he's pretty much a 33-year-old for the next 4 years. I think I said 3. 4 years. That is a lot of term. Brad Treliving said that the reason he gave him so much term was to get the player signed. Is long term, but like I said, it's these 4 years. That's the cup window. So, he's a veteran third pair defenseman. He is more offensive than he is defensive. He was really good in Arizona. And then, was it injuries that brought him down? I don't know what it was. And then he went to Vancouver, where he had a huge, $10 million contract or something stupid like that, and was very not worth it. Then he went to Florida. Here he is now on the Toronto Maple Leafs after winning a Stanley Cup. So, can't complain too much. Oliver Ekman-Larsson he's on the team. I imagine he's going to be a third pairing guy. I don't know who you play him with. He can play the left. He can play the right. Offensive, you can play him beside Benoit. Larsson, we want. I mean, we'll see what lines look like, but I'm not mad with this. Then, Joseph Woll was the lone goaltender. Anthony Stolarz, a cup-winning backup goaltender, is a Leaf. 2 years, $2.5 million. You know how much Woll makes? $766,667, I believe. Wait, 76666 shouldn't have been that hard to memorize. What? But that's what it is. The combined tandem this year is under $3.5 million. $3.5 million. A goaltender in Toronto. Oh, yeah, that's what Samsonov made last year. They have a goaltending duo that makes less than Sammy made last year himself. Now, Stolarz has played a career 109 games with a .914 save percentage. He's been he can be a great tandem partner. Really good backup if Joe Woll really goes on with this thing, like I think he will. Or could be a short-term starter if you need him to be. That's not preferable, but he can be, and that's always something good to have. Also, Matt Murray signed Leagueman to be the third-string goalie. I think I stated that earlier, but yeah, he did. There's one move the Leafs decided to make here. One final signing today. Yanni Hakanpaa, 2 years, $1.5 million. Now, Yanni Hakanpaa came from the Dallas Stars. They just went to the conference finals, and the Leafs got 2/3 of their right side. He's 6'7", 222-pound, right-handed D every time he's on the ice. None of that stuff changes. Maybe his weight will fluctuate a little bit, but he's always going to be a 6'7" right-handed defenseman on the Toronto Maple Leafs every time he steps on that ice. I like this contract. I'm going to compare it with Joel Edmondson, who just got like 3.8. Man, Larsson make less. Whatever. Why should we be excited for this guy? This guy, he hits everything. The past 3 seasons, he's 11th in hits in the NHL, 4th out of D-men. He blocks a ton and solid chance suppression numbers. That's pretty good value for $1.5 million for the next 2 seasons. Now, have the Leafs gotten better or have they gotten worse? That's the big question here. Oh, wait, one more thing about Hakanpaa. Penalty kill specialist. Like, he's genuinely amazing on the penalty kill. That will instantly help us out. But have we gotten better or worse? Well, last year's D versus this year. We'll start with the D. Morgan Rielly was on the team. He's on the team this year. He was paired with TJ Brody. This year he's being paired with Chris Tanev. Upgrade. Okay. Last year we had McCabe. We have McCabe this year as well. Last year we had Liljegren. Well, we're in this year as well, just with a raise. Last year we had John Klingberg. This year we have Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Okay, I'll give that a grade as well. Last year we had Benoit. This year we have Benoit, but a good Benoit, not a guy that we thought was going to suck. And last year we had Connor Timmins, who we still have, but I would expect him to go. So this year we have Hakanpaa, which is an upgrade. So yeah, the defense got a lot better. A lot more physical. A lot more Brad Treliving-like. Now, the offense, the defense got better. The goaltending will have to got cheaper, and it could get better as well being cheaper. Ilya Samsonov was amazing his first year in Toronto. Not good at the start of his second year. Got really good. And then right before the playoffs decided, hey, I'm actually bad again. Then continued to play throughout the playoffs till Woll came back, was super good, got injured, and then Sammy had to go back. So, who knows? Goaltending, I'll say got better and cheaper. And offense got offensive and stayed the same, except you lost Tyler Bertuzzi. So I'm going to say they took a hit. But if you think Tyler Bertuzzi was this team being good enough or not, man, you got other problems. You have Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Willie Nylander, John Tavares, and Morgan Rielly taking up 62% of the cap. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I really don't. There's not too much else you can do. I think they need... I was looking at Jeff Skinner as a possibility for the Leafs. He signed with Edmonton 1 year, $3 million, I think. And then I was thinking, hey, who's on the market right now? And I believe Vladimir Tarasenko is still available. I don't know how much of a discount he'll take to come to Toronto. Let's see, who are they? I think... Okay, so Tarasenko is... It's getting cut. Vladimir Tarasenko is available. Henrique is available. Daniel Sprong is available. He's a guy I'd actually take a closer look at. Alexander Nylander is available. These are all guys I'd be super interested in if I'm Brad Treliving. You have like one more spot to fill. So, Brad Treliving touched on several topics today in his interview. He talked about Mitch Marner. He said there's nothing to update here. There's nothing to update there. Mitch is training, preparing, getting ready for the season. Completely blew off everything about Marner. We'll see what happens there. On Craig Berube's comment at the draft. He's excited to coach him, and we move forward. Okay. Also, Nick Robertson requested a trade. I'll get into that. On his potential signings, I have a couple more depth signings in the hooper. Could be finalized in hours, so there's probably going to be a couple depth guys who are signed tonight after this video is already up, and I can't make another video because I'll be not anywhere where I can do it. And then on adding forwards, we still want to add at forward. Minton and Cowan must prove they can play in a man's league. We're open to prospects earning a role, but don't want to gift them spots at camp. That leads right into Nick Robertson. Brad Treliving on Nick Robertson's trade request. We look at Nick as an excellent player, and there's great opportunity for Nick here. We need him to be a good player for us. Now, I don't post on Twitter or X very much, but I did here because Chris Johnson last night said sources say RFA Nick Robertson has no plans to re-sign with the Leafs this summer and has informed the team he would like to be traded. Nick Robertson wants a trade. Now, I don't blame him. Sheldon Keefe didn't use him very much, but he really had no spot in this lineup. He had no spot on the team. He wasn't good enough to play in the top six, but he wasn't defensively responsible enough to play lower in your lineup. There was just no real spot for him on this team. I like Robertson, and I think he'll easily be a 25, 30 goal scorer in the NHL someday. If he doesn't want to be here, I don't care. Who cares? Did he expect to be served on a silver platter for him? Like, I'd love for him to be an everyday guy in this team. I really would. But, I mean, you have to work, man. Like, show some passion. Show some, I want to be on this team. Instead of just coming in, scoring a goal, being meh for the rest of the game, and then getting scratched again because you have no real spot here. Nick Robertson, I'd be okay with him getting dealt for, like, Connor McGothry, whatever, how to say his name, the guy in Winnipeg, that if you watch my other video, I talked about how I really wanted him. I'd be okay with getting him. I'm not going to be butthurt about anything, but, man, that sucks. But you know what? Day one is over. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think the Leafs got better? Do you think they got worse? Do you think they stayed relatively the same? What do you these signings? Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please click it. Click and subscribe really helps. And I hope to see you soon. So thank you very much.